Hey, everybody. That's not, that's not, it's been too long. It's been too long. What more can you say than that? I guess there's some more you can say. I don't know if you can hear the dog barking, but there's a dog barking. Hey. I keep getting mixed up with my openings. Hey, this is no dream. Happy Friday the 13th. All you Jasonacs, all you Voorheesians, all you Camp Crystal. Wait. Crystal Lake Heads. Crystal Meth Heads. All you Lake Heads out there. It is Friday the 13th, and not only is it Friday the 13th, it's a very special Friday the 13th. It's Jason's birthday. Woo! June 13th, 2025 is when this video is hitting the web. Yeah, that's what they taught me at Camp Crystal Lake for the Ottawa symbol of the web. Anyway, we're talking Friday the 13th, the final chapter. And this is the final chapter, and me talking about the final chapter because I started it and I didn't get done in time. And so part one has been out there for a while. I think I missed at least one, maybe two Friday the 13th. Yes, British people, that's what I think of you. No, I think two. I think peace, guys. Peace. Yeah, you know what's going on. You can hear the American accent. You know what's going on. Yeah. So here is the video that I recorded like 2 years ago now. And the second part of what I thought of Friday the 13th, the final chapter. And here we go. I hope you enjoy. A slam cut to nighttime, and it's party time at the teen house. And this is where they put on some music, and we get the classic McFly dancing, Crispin Glover doing some kind of that looks like a jitsu, like he's Captain Kirk, but no, it's more like, I'm sure there's people out there. I'm not going to do it. I've got a headache just doing that. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure it's on YouTube someplace. Check it out. Crispin Glover, Friday the 13th. Dance. Teddy strikes out with one of the twins. I think it was teen or twin. Honestly, I couldn't tell them apart. I'll be honest. I couldn't do it. And Blue Hat's like, no, we're going to slow dance. So he starts slow dancing. He changes the music. And McFly's like, what? My killer dance moves were totally going to get me laid, bro. No, he wasn't like that. But he was just kind of like, yeah. So they do a slow dance. Him and Free Spirit and Tommy and one of the twins. No. Tommy. Tommy wishes he was dancing with one of the twins. McFly and one of the twins. Slow dance. Good. Did you get that? Did you get that all that figured out? That's important information. So then we cut to the Jason Hunter leaving the house, and Trish says to him, Tommy always leaves the door unlocked or the door open. You might just leave it completely open. It's like, hi, random stranger that we've known for 2 hours, 3 hours. Maybe he stayed for dinner. But, I mean, it's movies. So, of course, Trish was madly in love with him already. Or would be if given a chance kind of thing. But that information, it's just kind of like, the good old days when you could tell random hitchhikers that they always leave the door open. Good thing they didn't tell Jason that. Okay, so we cut back to Tedster and McFly, and they're talking in the kitchen. And McFly says something like, you've got the pretty one. They're identical twins. Maybe that was the joke. Was you've got the pretty one. But yeah, they do look pretty close together. And that's when Teddy's all like going on with his dead lay joke. He puts his hand down his pants and through his fly to be like, dead lay. And I actually kind of like that joke because then one of the twins comes in and he's all like, with his hands still in the face, like, hey. I thought that was funny. I don't know if it's tasteless, but I found it being as funny. And you might think that there's some product placement in this scene because there's a big bottle of Clorox bleach on top of the fridge, but it's just really there. So Jason will see it, and he can clean up after his kills afterwards because he likes to leave it spotless. So Tina Twin tries to steal Blue Hat, which causes Free Spirit to go swimming. And so she leaves to go to the lake to try and entice Blue Hat to leave also, I guess. But he's all like, the pretty twin is hitting on me. And this is where we play Follow the Blue Hat because the twin takes Blue Cap and puts it on herself. And they slow dance together. So you got this real teen drama going on because Teddy's over there. He's all like, oh, she was mine. Look at that guy. He's taking her. She was mine. And McFly, of course, is all like, type that into your computer. It's like, I can't. I drank half of it already. Free Spirit takes off her clothes and jumps in the lake. And now I get that she's trying to entice Blue Hat to come after her. But shouldn't she wait until she actually sees him coming to before you commit to that? I don't know. But she's a free spirit, so she's naked in the water in the middle of the night. She sees a dinghy out there. She swims out to the dinghy, and then I'm like, wait, she's at the lake. Did they have to walk a ways before to get there? Didn't Sarah Jessica Wannabe and the Jarvises drive to get to the lake? I mean, maybe that was where the rope swing was, and it was on the other side of the lake. So they're like, oh, we got to walk over there or drive over there to it. But then I'm like, why don't you just be lazy and just walk the 10 feet to the lake and swim in this place? Who cares if there's a rope swing? But, being teens and young, that's an old person logic. Teens and young, you're like, hey, let's go to where the fun rope swing is. So that also makes you think one of the teens had to have been in this area come from this area before to go to the rope swing and stuff. I think I might have been Free Spirit, actually. I could be wrong. Maybe that's why she feels so free to be swimming naked in the middle of the night. Camp Crystal, well, they're not at Camp Crystal Lake, but there's some part of Crystal Lake, which I think she should know better, but I don't know. Do teens pay attention to the news? I know I didn't. What's going on in the world today? I don't know what it is. Anyway, so she swims out. There's a random dinghy sitting in the middle of the lake. She swims out there, and she is so sure that Paul, the blue cap, would be the only person coming after her that she just calls for Paul a whole lot. There's a whole lot of the Paul thing. But we get a kill. It's not Paul, it's Jason. Get a kill, knife through the bottom of the raft, points up, gets into her, protrudes through her back. You see it come up at her, and she's like, I think, is there a Goofy? Am I getting confused with a different kill? But I think there's some bad mugging here by Free Spirit. I could be wrong. Cut back to the party, and Blue Cap finally realizes that I really love Free Spirit. I don't want to do anything with you. I'm going to go find her. And it's just a little bit too late, buddy. So Terry Twin wants to leave, but Tina Twin's still like, no, I'm not going until I get some, okay? So she goes over and starts... does she put the blue cap on McFly's head, or asks him to dance and then puts the blue cap on McFly's head? Anyway, Crispin's sitting there, McFly's sitting there, and he's got toothpicks and Cheetos, and he's making a little statue. And it kind of reminds me of that infamous Letterman interview, the one where he almost kicks him in the face. It starts off with he had an art show with statues and stuff. I mean, it's a completely weird interview that goes downhill pretty steeply. Anyway, he kind of hey, weren't you interested in Teddy? And she's like, I was with Teddy, but now I'm with you. And he's like, that makes me feel like a rat. Foreshadowing of Willard. It only took 30 years, 20, no. And then 20 years later? Okay, so Teddy's all like, well, I didn't get with Tina, let me try Terry. And if I got the twins were mixed up, I apologize. To the twins, not to you, the viewer. Okay, I apologize to you, the viewer, if you're horribly confused about who I'm talking about because I've got the twins' names mixed up. I apologize. You just watch the movie. Teddy tries the want to give Teddy a kiss? This is big. He's got a teddy bear there. Was the teddy bear there, or did Teddy bring the teddy bear in hopes that he can find some random girls to bring to the party to pull the, hey, you want to give Teddy a kiss? Line. It definitely doesn't work for him in this movie. I don't know if it ever worked for him before, but he sure tries it. Every time. Strikes out again. Blue Cap makes it to the lake. Maybe he sees the dinghy and sees like her arm outside the dinghy. I can't even remember if he's calling for her or whatever, but he strips down, gets in the water. He doesn't take his shorts off. First I was all like, well, why isn't he getting naked? Jump in the water, go there. And then I'm like, logistically from the movie making process, the later scene would make that even more uncomfortable than it already is. Because he goes and he finds Spirit's body and is like, wah! Gets the heck out of there and he swims to the dock. Gets to the dock and Jason appears behind him and stabs him in the groin. Kill. Groin stab with a harpoon gun. And then he fires the harpoon gun up into his crotch. He lifts him up into the air and he's like, ah! So just imagine how uncomfortable we as the viewer, I mean, still, pretty, as a guy, it's kind of like, ooh, groin stab, ew. But just imagine how uncomfortable that would have been if he had been naked. Probably would have gotten X rating. And cut. This would have, if we had an unrated cut, like more Blue Cap groin. Jason Hunter hears the scream, grabs his machete. It's like, someone's in trouble. I'm grabbing my machete. This has got to be Jason's doing. And then he slowly walks away from his tent towards the lake. And I'm like, that's not a way to catch a killer. It almost works, though, because he sees a shape back by his tent and a loud snap, and he runs back to it, and he finds his rifle has been broken. Jason. You're at the old Crystal Lake twist and turn. When you're a Jason Hunter and you're leaving your tent, make sure you got your machete and your rifle and your hunting knife and anything else. McFly and Tina Twin, she's all like, hey, let's go upstairs, big guy. So they go upstairs, and I have the note that says great pre-sex dialogue, but I don't remember what it is. It's got to be pretty cheesy, though, I think. And they get on the bed, and it breaks. So it's like on a slant. And they're like, let's do it anyway. And then Teddy finds porn. Look, I found this reel of porn. Let's get the old projector and put it up. Terry Twin is not amused by this. Teddy is laughing his buttocks off. Perel model and Sarah Jessica wannabe is like sitting in the back, kind of like laughing at it. And it's not like people having sex. It's naked women dancing, or topless women dancing, or in a shower or something. That's the footage, mostly just dancing. So there is more nudity in the film, because I didn't count them, sorry to say. Tina Twin's not amused. She goes upstairs to interrupt sex to say, hey, I'm leaving. I don't care if you're getting it on. Come with me. No, I don't know if she's like that, but I think that's kind of what she wanted to happen. But she left anyway, and there's thunder and lightning, and it starts raining. And then she goes outside to her bike, and we get a shadow kill. Terry Twin is stabbed in the back by the bikes, and then with the shadow kill. And then she gets thrown. Did I say Terry? Yeah, I guess I did say Terry. So Tina's upstairs having sex. Terry's downstairs getting stabbed in the back. First she gets stabbed in the back by her sister. Then she gets stabbed in the back by Jason. I guess she feels bad because, well, actually, I don't remember. She gets stuck to the wall. I don't remember if she's facing the wall or facing outside. And it kind of looks maybe like it's the harpoon gun that's sticking out of there. So those just be like, oh, it's just in some guy's crotch. It's not sanitary. So that's happening to Portina outside. Sarah Jessica Parker wannabe makes the decision that it's time to lose her virginity. So she gives a not so subtle hint. No, she gives a subtle hint to Perot model because it takes a long time. She's like, I'm going upstairs to bed. I'm going to sleep in the bottom bunk. It's like, oh, you want me to sleep in the top bunk? Like, no. Oh, okay. It's like, give me a minute. Come on up. So I'm like, okay. So they go off. And at this point, I'm thinking, I mean, there's beer there, but Teddy's been smoking, and he's got to be smoking weed or something because he's laughing way too much. He's way too happy for to be from where he was when he was all moody and pissed. To be like, naked women dancing. Can you believe it? That's my grandma. So Mama Jarvis comes home from jogging at night after dinner, and it's like all the lights are off. She's like, where is everybody? And I'm like, yeah, where is everybody? Where did they go? She's like, okay, I'm gonna go jog. And they're like, okay, we're gonna... No, they don't even say it because she has no idea where they are. They like Tommy and Trish jump into the car and drive off. The last time we saw him was when Jason Hunter left. Wait, did we just tell a random stranger that our door is always open and now we can't find anybody? That's what I would think. Okay. And I think this is when I noticed that everybody who lives in the area of Camp Crystal Lake, not including, in this movie, not including the horny teens, the kids, they all have T names because it's Tommy, Trish, Terry, and Tina. Did you notice everyone that? Anyway, the power's out of the house. Mom asks where the dog is, and then asks the dog where it is, and then goes outside and screams and kill. I didn't put this. Did I count that as being a kill? I don't know. I think there's a deleted scene where Trish discovers Mom in a bathtub, but it's not in the movie at all. We have no idea what happens to her, so I'm going to assume that was Jason and that she got killed. So from there, it cuts to Tommy and Trish, just to let us know that they're in the car driving. I guess they ran into town for something. I don't know. And then it cuts to Sarah, Jessica Parker wannabe, and I think her name must have actually be Sarah in the movie, and she's in her undies, right? She's getting ready. She's just in her underwear, but it's like right in front of not an open window, but the blinds are pulled up and stuff. You can totally see through the window. And she's like, doesn't she know that there's a peeping Tommy next door? That's like, wow. Anyway, sorry. I thought it was funny. Jarvis gets home. Jarvis's Tommy and Trish get home. And it's a repeat of the mom scene where they're walking around like, Mom, dog, where's Mom? No, they don't do that part, but it's the same kind of thing. And Trish says, she's like, I'm going to go check the jogging path, even though it's raining buckets out there. I'm going to go look for her. But we all know where she's going, right? And she tells Tommy to fix the lights because he's the electrical engineer. He's got those mad special effects talents. Anyway, so Trish, looking for her mom, heads straight to Jason Hunter's tent, where we get another jump scare because there's a shit. She's sitting in the tent. She finds his articles about Jason, all the stuff about Jason, keeping in mind that, I mean, maybe there's like previous stories and stuff. Maybe there's even the Chris story in there from 2 years ago. And we see an artist interpretation of Jason, like he's a Sasquatch or something. Like they don't have a picture of the kid. He was a kid. I mean, I know it was 79. I can't remember when the first movie first takes place, when Jason drowned. is either going to be in the 70s or the 60s. And I know he was deformed. Can't think of a PC term for that. And mentally issues. To believe that he had also had some mental issues. Maybe I'm just wrong with that. But anyway, there would still be photos of him. Mama Voorhees would have taken a picture of him and had him there, and after she died, they could have used that for the paper. I mean, he was probably homeschooled, so he doesn't have a school picture. I'm gonna bet that's true. But there's this random artist interpretation, I guess maybe it's supposed to be, of what the final girl from part 1 saw in her dream psychic episode that she had out on the lake. It's possible. Anyways, there's a machete shadow on behind her, and it comes through the thing, and it's Jason Hunter, thinking Jason's hanging out in his tent reading the newspapers. Like, oh, I've got a fan. Stalker. I think it's a stalker. This isn't healthy. Anyway, another fake out scare. Cut to post-sex with Tina Twin and McFly, and she confirms that he's no dead lay. Judging. Oh yeah, best thing this guy has heard all day. And then she says, don't move, I'll be right back. So you know what McFly does? He immediately runs downstairs and brags to Tommy that he got some, giving the panties off to him as proof. Because that was a thing teens did in the 80s. I can say I never did that. In the 80s, no. I never did that. It was silly. But he goes down and gloats to the thing. And then comes in my favorite scene of the movie, maybe of the franchise. And that is Crispin Glover trying to find what happened to the corkscrew. And so he's like, Ted, where's the corkscrew? Ted. It's my favorite part. I did not do it justice. Watch the movie. Go to it. Why don't you put clips in? Don't talk to me like that, random viewer. But Jason is a nice guy. He found the corkscrew, so he gives it to him by stabbing it through his hand. And then the next thing, we got another kill with a meat cleaver to the face. Which Teddy doesn't hear because he's too busy laughing at the nudie film. Tina Twin doesn't hear because she's in the bathroom. Okay, they could have more than one bathroom here. I'm sorry. I was going to get all uppity about it. But they could have more than 2 bathrooms. But Tina Twin finds McFly gone. She's like, what? Where did he go? I told him to stay right there. We were going to do it again. And now he's gone. He ran away. Maybe I'm the bad luck. No, she doesn't say that. What she does say is the notice that the double bikes at the outside. She's all like, what happened to Terry Twin? And like, this really dispels the, that theory of that what happens to one twin, the other twin feels. Because you think you would have realized felt a stab to the back and being flung up against a wall. Or is that why Jason kills Terry Twin? Because he can feel the twin vibe. So Tina Twin is having sex, and that vibe is going through Terry Twin, and he can feel the sexual vibe going through her. So he's like, "Oh, you're dying. You're having sex. Oh wait, you're not having sex, but your twin is. It's close enough to me." Anyway, we got a lot of window looking. If you like watching somebody look out a window to see if they can see something, this is your scene. And then we got another kill because Jason grabs her through the window, smashes her through the window, flings her out, second story window, flings her out. She falls down, smashes into the station wagon, and then onto the ground. Presumably dead, so that's kill. I mean, you could probably survive that. It's a second story fall onto a top of a car. But I mean, she smashes that car, so he must have put some force. He was like, It's like, I'm throwing that trash down. Smashes the car. You know, it's one of those window shatters, ceiling crumps, rolls off the thing. They got some good stunt women on this one, I will say. Probably, it could be the same one. Does that fall, and then another fall later on. Anyway, then we cut back to the tent, and we get Jason Hunter's backstory. We find out that his sister is Sandra Curls from part 2. Which brings us to more timeline fun. Continued in part 2. I'm just kidding. Part 3? How long is this video? Okay, timeline fun. Curls is murdered on Friday the 13th. That summer. I think we've established that it's that summer. She's killed on Friday. The bodies are discovered on Saturday the 14th. Jason is found dead Monday the 16th, resurrected that night, and goes missing. So Tuesday the 17th, he's officially gone. The cops it's been 24 hours. The cops go searching for him. Still guessing that when the paper comes out, we meet Jason Killer on Thursday the 19th. So he basically found out his sister was murdered on Saturday. That the killer was found Monday, dead. And that on Tuesday, he had gone missing. And the next day, on Wednesday, he packs up. I mean, I guess he could have done it Tuesday afternoon, evening. But anyway, he packs up his camping and hunting gear and sets out on his vigilante mission, knowing where Jason would go back to and what his trigger is. So maybe he spent Tuesday at the library combing through back issues of the newspaper that he then cut out. That's what Tuesday did. Tuesday was the research. Wednesday was the compile and grab. Thursday was the walk to the lake. And it's kind of, yeah, sure. Why not? That's how it works. That's perfect sense. Perfect sense. And that guy was obviously still grieving the loss of his sister. And there's no way that this took place in April the next year. No way. Anyway, they realize Mouth is alone in the house. We left Tommy alone! Even though we don't know where the mom is, they still assume that she's not gone back to the house. Cuts to quick shots of Tommy watching the porn. Jason's all over the place, honestly. He never can just do point A to point B to point C. He's like, okay, I'm going to kill someone in the kitchen. I'm going to go outside, go upstairs. Maybe I'm going outside, and I just happen to look up and see this late girl looking out the window. And I'm like, well, she's obviously going to stay there for the next 3 minutes looking out that window. So I'm going to climb up, grab her, throw her out. Anyway, he goes back into the kitchen. He grabs Michael Myers' favorite cutting utensil, a knife. Kitchen knife. Before he can kill anybody, we go back up to sexy shower time with sensual kissing with Sarah Jessica Parker wannabe and Perel model. They're in the shower making out. And that's why I had a problem with Tina Twin leaving the room. It's like, where she obviously went to the bathroom. Did she go to the bathroom before they jumped in the shower, or were they in the shower and she just like, don't mind me, used the bathroom? Was there more than one bathroom? Which there obviously can be more than one bathroom. Okay, we get a little bit, there's through the glass nudity, frosted glass of the shower door, with they put the butt up against the glass and they're starting to lift up a leg. They're going to start to have sex. I'm kind of like, a glass door is not a sturdy thing to have sex against, in my opinion. I mean, maybe I didn't get to see the top of it. Most of what I've seen of glass doors, they're not there for you to push up against a whole bunch. Anyway, that was my thought during that sexy shower time. Cut back down to Teddy. It's like, enough of that sexy stuff. Let's watch Teddy look at naked women dancing. Maybe this is when they're in a tub. I don't know. But he like walks up to the screen and he's all like, "Hey, give Teddy a kiss," and it's 3 strikes. You're out, mister. Because next thing you know, film stops. It's cut. It's whipping around the projector, and he like turns around and he's staring, and the projector lights shining in his face. It's like, "McFly, is that you?" I think Jimmy is his name. I can't remember. "Jimmy, is that you?" Looking like maybe he sees something. He's staring, but he's right in front of the screen. And we get killed. Jason stabs through the screen into the back of Teddy's head. Oh. Teddy falls down. You get the knife ripping through the screen. That's kind of a fun effect. Then we come back upstairs. Sexy shower time is over. 2 minutes, 1 minute and a half. Well, like I said, maybe they were like, you know what, this is silly. This has been fun foreplay. Let's go to the bedroom where we can do better. She leaves the shower, and he's all like, "Oh, Sarah Jessica Parker wannabe, I think I'm in heaven." And she's like, "Oh, Perel model, I think I'm in love." He's like, "What? What'd you say?" "What? Nothing. I'll see you in the bottom bunk." Anyway, he starts singing in the shower, and I somehow missed previously that the light gets turned off on him, because then he's like, "Sarah, change your mind? Why would she just was doing stuff with you with the lights on? Why would she turn the lights off coming in when she wanted to do some more stuff with her?" But he thinks someone is messing with him, and he thinks it's Blue Cap instead of Teddy Bear. And I'm like, but Teddy is the annoying character of the movie. He's the Ned, whatever, the curly haired guy. Oh, I can't believe I already forgot Mr. Insecure from part 3. Anyway, he's all like, "Polly, is that you? Oops, I dropped the soap." Joke that apparently doesn't amuse Jason, because he smashes through the shower glass and shoves his nose into his face. Kill. Nose into the back of that skull. Anyway, Sarah Jessica Parker wannabe doesn't hear any of this, because she's drying her hair, and then she's all like, "Oh, he's not here yet." But notices that he's not singing anymore, so he goes back in the bathroom and sees him dead. His head is like up against the broken shower door is like halfway up is broken, and his head is laying right there. And she's all like freaking out because, oh, she's dead. And I'm like, why are you jumping to, oh, he's dead? He could have just had an accident where he slipped and crashed through, and he could be injured and bleeding to death. You should go check on him and save him. But no, she immediately knows that his nose has been completely crushed into the back of the skull, and that he is dead. And for whatever reason, she starts calling out for Free Spirit, and I don't get that. Maybe because I was her only friend in the place, but she starts calling for her, heads for the front door. She's like, she gets the poop out of there, because when she sees Perel's perfect head sticking out of the broken glass door, she's like, oh, she's dead, and I'm getting the heck out of Dodge. And she gets the door, but the door is not opening. She's just in a towel. Did I say that already? I don't know. She's trying to open the door, and we get our next kill. The axe right through the door, right into her chest. It's a nice effect, nice kill. I like it. Pop. Ah. Dead. Tommy's got the lights working again. He's slowly walking down the stairs, probably because there's no railing on the outside of it. But somebody's knocking on the door. Knocking at the door. And Jason Hunter breaks the glass of the door to get inside. Like, couldn't you just look through the door? The lights are on inside. They're out on that outside. You can look in. You can totally see Tommy coming down the stairs. Couldn't you just be all like, Tommy, come on, unlock the door, instead of breaking the glass on it and unlocking the door? But that's Jason Hunter for her. He's all like, you lied to me about you always leaving this door unlocked. Anyway, so they go to call the cops, and Jason grabs the phone box and rips it off the side of the wall. He knows which one is the phone box, which one to take off, throw against the wall, or sever so they can't call for help. I really think Mama Voorhees is in his head like, pull the phone, get the phone box on, dear. Get the phone box, dear, before they call the cops. Get it. Yes, Mommy. Oh, I don't know. I told you to kill that one girl. She chopped her head off, but I guess I'll go ahead and do this. He kills it like it's a preppy country boy. And they tell Tommy to stay here and lock the door, even though we broke the glass on it. So all Jason has to do is reach in and unlock it. But you lock the door. Gordon reappears. Yay, Gordon. They all head back. Jason, Hunter, and Trish and Gordon enter the house. There's no bodies of Sarah Jessica Wannabe and Teddy Bear, or the twins, or McFly. They go in, something must have made them decide to go downstairs, because Jason Hunter takes his little tiny hunter knife, gives her the machete, very chivalrous, takes his little hunting knife, goes down to the basement. Gordon hears something, goes upstairs. So Trish is like, well, what are you doing, Gordon? Goes upstairs after him. Gordon dives through the second-story window. He's like, I am getting out of here. I watched Halloween. I know what these sickos do to dogs. I know Muffin survived, but I'm not taking any chances. And he gets out of there. I don't know if we ever see Gordon again after that. So, good luck, Gordon, out there in Camp Crystal Lake. I hope you find new owners. Well, I mean, Trish could be. Anyway, Tommy does some snooping, and he sees the newspaper ad and the Sasquatch drawing of Jason, and he's getting some ideas. Trish goes into the bathroom, and she follows the blood. She's like, boom. She follows the blood trail and finds that Perel has been stabbed and stuck to the wall. Out of the shower, stuck to the wall. I can only assume Jason wants to wash some clothes, so he went ahead and cleared the tub. So Trish gets out of there. She's like, whoa! She goes and gets to Jason Hunter, and as they're leaving the basement, he drops his knife. It's like, I have to go back for that knife. Worst thing he could have done, because Jason is in the shadows, and he starts throwing them up against the shelving. We have another kill, which we know because he's giving the classic line, he's killing me! Oh, run! He's killing me! With a garden fork. It's like a pitchfork. 3 prongs, except it's bent. So it's like scraping thing. He's got that. I mean, it would hurt like heck. You could kill somebody with one of those, but still, it's a garden fork. He doesn't fare any better than Curls. He has a better chance, but he doesn't. Anyway, Trish goes back to the house. She doesn't go back to the house. She goes upstairs, and then she goes back for him. Like, what are you doing, Trish? He told you to get the heck out of there. Jason killed him. You're walking down the stairs, seeing if he's still alive, and then of course Jason grabs through the stairs, grabs him, and he gets a machete in the wrist for it. She opens the front door, the one they came in to find, the one that they entered in. She opens that door to find Tina Twin dead on the porch. She goes to the kitchen door to find McFly. She opens the kitchen door. McFly is pinned up against the in the entranceway, so he's blocking her, being pinned up in the entranceway. So that freaks her out, and she throws a thing through the window as she runs through the window. she heads back to her house, and they're like, Tommy, we gotta lock up the house. Tommy, let me in. We gotta get there. We gotta nail up the house and lock the thing. Jason comes up through the kitchen. He goes through, and he just grabs McFly and rips him down. And it's like, so you see the thing, the nail go through his thing. But it's just so funny. I mean, it is. It's hilarious how he takes his dead body and rips it down like it's a curtain or something in his way, and he storms off to the other house. So they're nailing down the windows in the house. And the next thing you know, Jason Hunter comes crashing through the window to save the day. No, he's dead, and he's laying on the ground. And it looks like the fork is like sticking out of the back of his head. So he might have, severed a spinal cord there. So that means Jason left the house because we saw him. I'm pretty sure he wasn't carrying anything. Rips down McFly, goes over, stops the house, sees that they're locking up, nailing the door shut, the windows, goes back into the basement, grabs Jason Hunter, brings him over just to throw him through the window. I mean, it's not like he's burst through 2 glass panes already. But he does it again. He bursts through the window and grabs Tommy. Tries to get him, but she's got a hammer to the head. She's like, hey, go, hey, stop it. Knock it off. That's smart. Hey. Then he really gets pissed when she flips it around and gets a claw to the head. Lets Tommy go, and then they run around. He just bursts through that door. So it wouldn't have mattered if they locked the door or not. His door shattered because he's so pissed off. He rips the hammer off his head, throws it at Trish, misses him. It sticks to the wall behind her. So they go and they barricade Tommy's room, and they crouch down right in front of a CB radio. Power's on. Who cares if the phones don't work? You have a CB radio there. Call the cops. Well, they don't think about it because Jason's at the door, and once again he tries the doorknob first, but then he Jack Torrances it with an axe. Gets in there. Here's Jason. Don't you get it's called The Shining? Here's Johnny. But no, his TV kills the horror star. TV to the head. He falls down. Trish tells Tommy to run like heck. No, so they leave Tommy's room. He's dead on the floor there. He's got the axe. It's like a couple feet away from him, or a foot away from him. She's like walking over there, but of course he's not actually dead. He grabs the axe, tries to hit Trish with it, misses, gets the thing. Trish runs off. Jason decides to follow her instead of Tommy. She runs back to the party house, easily jumping over Tina Twin, which was such an obstacle before. Like before, it was like, oh, a dead body. I can't jump over that. This was not even paying attention to it. Not even a hurdle. Big run around in the house there, and then there's a major stunt. She jumped through the window. She has to have jumped through the window because Jason had trapped her upstairs. I don't think he threw her. She jumps, big fall, Christ pose in the mud. I mean, you can see the bounce of the pad that they land on, but buried in the ground, covered in mud, blanket and mud. But still, a great stunt. Good stunt work. Good female stunt work going on here. Jason peers out, watches her get up slowly. And then Tommy has this great idea. So, like, you know what? I am quoted having special talent for masks and makeup. I am going to transform myself into what the artist interpretation of what Jason looked like as a kid. And he's got enough time to do it because Trish and Jason, they saunter back to the Jarvis house. It's not the mad chase that it was 5 seconds ago. She's like, I had this fall. I hurt. Jason's kind of like, I respect that. That was a big fall. I'm just going to slowly come up behind you. Like, okay. because she comes into the house through the broken door, right? And then she still have her machete at this time? I think so. Did she have her machete that whole time? I don't know. Maybe it was back in the house. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She senses him behind him and swings, hits the door frame. That was pretty cool. And then there's another, and then so Jason's like, and she's like, no, no. Sorry, that was more shining. Remembering the shining. Anyway, and then we get this. Oh, really gross. She gets him like right here. It's like, I live long and prosper now. Right there, and it's like, I feel like I should have been keeping track of Jason abuse. Also, that's like also something with the death count and the nudity and sex scenes, like the Jason abuse, because he got some pretty big abuse last movie, and he gets really messed up this movie. Well, he dies this movie. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I think he really dies this time. He might have died last time. This time, I think it's the final chapter for Jason Voorhees. Anyway, she machetes him in the chest or the arm or something. I don't know, but he gets it away, pins her down, and I know he's missing a hand, but it's like he's on top of her. He's got a hand on her throat, kind of. It's very reminiscent of Chris in part 3. Her attack scene from 2 years ago. So this also brings up the question, like, what is Jason's intention here? It was all like, usually he's just all about stabbing and killing, and he can shove noses into the back of walls, but here he's having difficulty. I would think that anybody who hit me in the head with a hammer and then sliced, gave me a permanent live long and prosper, I would be like, that's just if I was a psycho killer. Tommy shows up in his Jason disguise. And we all know how Jason gets really confused when people dress up like family members or even himself. Because I was like, what am I looking at? Is that me from when I was younger? I haven't seen that since when I watched myself jump out of the lake and grab that one girl as I was a 30-year-old man on the living on the outskirts, even though I had never talked to my mother ever again. And those years I was presumed dead. Possibly. What happened with Jason there? Ooh, we don't know. Anyway, we're talking Tommy in part 4. Trish gets up, gets the machete, knocks off the mask. I gotta say, the 12 to 24 hours of Jason being dead really affected his face. It does look like a warmed up corpse. Worse than it was before, and that freaks her out. So she drops the machete, and Tommy picks it up and whacks Jason on the side of the face. And that causes... That's a little too much for my head. I'm sorry. It falls down face first, and there's this cool, disgusting effect of him sliding down the machete. The blade of the machete gravity does its thing. And you get the little mechanical eye twitching and stuff. There's a whole lot that really hurt. They think it's all over, but Jason's hand twitches. And Tommy sees that, and he goes machete crazy, and just whacking him over. You will stay dead. Fade to white. Bring up the end of part 1. It's the hospital room. Doctor and cop stand over the girl in the bed. Trish is laying in the bed, and there's a doctor and a cop. Just like part 1. We've been here before, folks. Trish needs shoulder injury, but she'll be fine. The doc doesn't seem concerned at all. And the doctor informs her that it's perfectly normal for Tommy to go ape poop with a machete over Jason's body. That's normal trauma. Nothing to be worried about. He's not a crazy psycho now because he witnessed all this stuff. He didn't actually see any dead bodies. He only had the one guy attack him. Unless, of course, he went and saw his dead mom in the bathtub, but they never showed that. They seem very concerned that Trish. The main concern seemed to be that Trish gets some rest, but she convinced her to let Tommy see her. Tommy gives her a big hug, and we think everything will be all right. But then Tommy's creepily opens his eyes. I'm really insane now. And then credits. And that closes the final chapter of Friday the 13th. Book one, maybe? I don't know. Okay. Oh no, he's gone forever. He'll never return. What are we gonna do? Oh, this is the last episode. No, it's not. Come on. We all know that there is a new beginning looming in the distance. This year, next year, who knows? The only Friday the 13th this year, I think, is the Friday the 13th on his birthday. And then we've got like a plethora of Friday the 13th next year. And I know it was a rambly episode. I apologize. But honestly, that whole timeline thing, the timeline, still just kind of bugs me. It just cannot be the same week. I honestly think that after part 3, which was whatever was a Sunday, is that when the night of whatever. But I talk about it enough. I don't need to go back into it. But I honestly think, I just only bring this up because next year I'll get my thoughts in order. Next year I won't get my thoughts in order. There are 2 Friday the 13ths in a row. I am almost 100% sure about that. I am 75% sure that I'm 100% sure about that. I really just kind of feel like that is what's going on with this Friday the 13th. That is one, and it takes Jason a while to walk back from the hospital. He's got to hide the people and walk. He's got to keep to the backwoods. It's not like he can hitchhike down the road. We all know he can drive, and maybe he ran out of gas on his way there. I don't know. You just heard me ramble about it forever, so I don't know why I'm continuing to ramble about it. It's because it's just me and my thoughts. That's all I've got. It's me and you, the audience. Thanks for visiting. Okay, so go through the stats. You got certain stats you need for a Jason movie and part 3. No, we're on part 4. Why did I not write down part 4? I just wrote part 3 there for some reason. I'm sure I edited out that huge, long, confused pause of me reading, because I know one of the things that YouTubers enjoy the most is watching somebody read. Not listening to somebody read, but watching them read. All right, here we go with our Friday the 13th stats. Nudity, which discussed earlier. I don't know if it's this episode or the episode before where we talk about how much nudity there is in this movie. But we get not 1, not 2, but 3 sets of breasts, or boobies, or yabos, whichever you prefer. Some side boob, though, through frosted glass. So you got a little tease side boob action there. You get 4 female bums. Another one through the frosted glass, pushed up against it there. 2 male bums. So we get some guy action in there for you ladies. Unfortunately, none of them are Crispin Glover. Free Spirit gets naked the most. She gets naked like 3 times in this movie. The Sarah Jessica Parker wannabe is in her undies. Probably 5 naked women dancing. In the silent pornos. In the silent porno, there are 5 dancing naked ladies. I'm assuming that those are found footage, and so I'm not necessarily counting them in as because it's a cheat. It's a cheat. I feel like if they showed all the nudity from the first three movies at the beginning of the movie, like, all right, sex. We got two sex scenes in this one. Oh, so sexy. The broken bed sex and the sexy shower time. Neither are horribly long or graphic at all, really, I think. I could be wrong. But there's no nothing. Nothing. 10. PG-13. PG-13, I tell ya. Kills. We actually get 13. I think this is the first Friday the 13th movie where we get 13 kills in the movie if you count Mom, which I'll get into later, or maybe I got into already, but we never see her die. It's just presumed that she dies. And then I guess in the deleted scenes, I'll spoil it. There's a scene where she dies. If I hadn't spoiled it already, it's spoiled now. Because, I'm going into the special features next. Let's see. Best kill. KBVC's best kill of Friday the 13th. The final chapter, not including Jason himself. Which I didn't do an abuse. I talked about doing an abuse chapter stat also. I'm sure that's out there. I'm sure there's like a Jackie Chan type poster where it's like hack to the head, hammer to the back of the head, machete to the Vulcan salute. I was about to say Vulcan neck bench, but it's live long and prosper. Okay, best one I think is the I don't remember who it is at this time. I apologize. Oh no, it's the first kill of the movie. It was my best kill. It was the horny corner guy. I guess the hacksaw and then the final head twist to it. Yeah, that's my favorite kill. Honorable mentions. Second place runner up is the groin harpoon. To the thing. All the guys in the audience, even girls, are like, okay. Special features. Lost Tales from Camp Blood Part 4, of course. Fun at the hospital. Ding, 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 ding. Which I don't remember at all. But I'm assuming about the same quality as the other ones, just they're not in the cabin. They're in the hospital. Slash scenes whoosh, with audio commentary by director Joseph Zito. Zito? Zito? Zito. Harpo, Chico, Groucho, Gummo. I said Chico. Why can't I think of the handsome one's name right now? Zito. And I didn't get it. I didn't get it yet. I didn't get his autobiography yet. No, it's not autobiography because he's dead. Slash scenes. All I remember is the mom dying. Is the only one I remember. So, but they're always fun. Always fun. Special making of Jason's Unlucky Day. Friday the 13th. Or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday or Thursday? Checking notes. Jason's Unlucky Day is Thursday the 19th. Unless, like I said earlier, it took him a long time to walk from the place to the hospital. And I'm sure I did, but I really like, how did Jason get his mom's sweater and head? Did he dig up the body? Did it look like it was, how long had that Been buried there. Been 5 years. Anyway, it don't matter. It's still just rolling around in my head, Jason's unlucky day, Thursday the 19th. 25 years after Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Featurette. It's 11 minutes and 3 seconds long. I'm sure those 3 seconds are just the credits, nothing else. It's got Joseph Zito, Tom Savini, Kimberly Beck, Ted White, Barney Cohen, Bonnie Hellman, Eric Anderson. I think Kimberly Beck is the main girl. Ted White is Jason. Is Barney Teddy? Bonnie is Free Spirit? I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that's who they have in there. No Corey, no Crispin. None of the big two fish got reeled into this one. Lost ending with director and Kim Burley Beck commentary. The Crystal Lake Massacres Revisited Part 1. 2 months. Alice killed 2 months. They know the morgue guy and the nurse were killed. When in the movie they say they disappeared. Oh, okay. So I don't remember what the Crystal Lake Massacre Revisited Part 1 is. But apparently the information that they give us that we're like, we go, was that Alice was killed 2 months ago. Is Alice the lead of number 2 or number 1? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I can't. I won't look into it. I don't know. You know. Yeah, you right there. Put it in the comments. You know the answer. Put it in the comments. Not you, the other person. You just chill. Jimmy's Dead Dance Moves. Examining Crispin Glover's iconic dance scene. It's a nice little feature. I didn't write how long that was. We got the theatrical trailer. Friday, April 13th is Jason's unlucky day. And apparently they spelled out 13th on the preview, and that was just really kind of weird to look at because it's usually, like that, or they don't have the main one. There's the covers and stuff, but I'm pretty sure I did that in part 1. So go watch part 1. Don't watch it. Ask for it now. They got some TV spots, radio spots, photo gallery, posters, and lobby cards gallery. Not a whole lot of poster variation. The Japanese one, The Keep. That's my note. Japanese one is the one to keep. Or does it look like The Keep? That other 80s horror movie. I don't know. And then Jason's carrying a shot of Jason carrying with a machete in the chest. There's who gets a machete in the chest that Jason carries around? Is that some behind the scenes of the Voorhees cleanup and gag discovery? I don't know if I've done that joke yet or not, but yeah. Jason Voorhees, and he gets it from his mother. He likes to set up surprises. A little pop-up like, ha, look, it's your dead friend. Whee! He works with what he's got, okay? Can't make paper mache monsters. He's can't get Teddy or Tommy to make him a cool alien mask. He's got to just kill somebody. So he's going to use the dead body to set up his funfair scare house. Turn your house into a funfair scare house with Voorhees decorations. Yeah, I think that came out all right. The lobby cards had a cool design. That's all I got to say about that. There is audio commentary with the director, Joseph Zito, with the writer, Barney Cohen. Oh, and that's one of the people who was in the thing. I didn't know who he was. The making of. And editor, Joel Goodman. Good job editing. I don't remember any like outstanding editing things whatsoever. And then in part 2 is a fans slash filmmakers Adam Green and Joe Lynch talk about their favorite Friday the 13th movie. I think that's right. I think that's accurate. I think that's how they give it. And I've got no notes about the director's commentary. The only note I have about the fans slash filmmakers commentary is, what was he talking about counselors in part 5? I think, it was just a mistake. Have you watched my videos? I often misspeak and say the wrong word. And like sometimes I'll throw up the correct word. But yeah, counselors. Did they have counselors in part 5? It's been too long. That's my next Friday the 13th will be the part 5. So that should be exciting. That should be exciting. Machete scale. So the machete scale goes from 1 to 12 because that is how many currently Friday the 13th slash Jason movies there are. And honestly, the first time I watched it, okay, no. I remember loving this movie, yes, from my teens to 20s or whatever, right? And if you're like talking about, and you're talking to people about Friday the 13th, you're like, oh, final chapter, part 4 is the best. And then when I watched it this time, I'll get Jason to cut that with, you can't see it, but there's my Camp Crystal Lake, my counselor shirt is falling apart. What was I saying? That I was going to get Jason to cut the string for me here. We'll just snip it and I'll knot it. Okay. So then I watch it for this, and I was still on a high with part 3. And I'm not 100% sure why, but part 3 really spoke to me during this watching of the series. And I was like, I enjoyed that a lot better than part 4, right? Well, then I watched it again with the commentaries and edited myself talking about it. And it just kind of rekindled the love for it. So, like, if you had asked me, and I don't remember how I was doing the machete score, if it was instant reaction after watching the movie, or just how I thought about it, or just how I thought about it after I got to the point of shooting the video. But it went back up. It went back up, and I can't remember what I gave part 3. But part 4 is definitely in the double digits. And I think there is some goofiness to it. And, it really messed my head up with the timeline. Uh, and the whole artist interpretation of what Jason would look like, or what the lady said she saw in the lake, I guess. But we're saying, oh, that's Jason Voorhees, and we don't have any other photos that we could possibly show you because we burned all of that evil Pamela Voorhees' stuff. I'm going to go 10. I'm going to say 10. I don't know if I've said this before or not, but I think after I get through the whole thing, I might reevaluate the standings of the movie after I've gotten them all. I mean, it's already been, I don't know when this first video came out, but I skipped a year, had a gap year. Yeah, so machete scale, bam, giving it a 10. Is that the same as 3? Did I give 3 and 11? I don't know. But yeah, I'm processing it here on the screen for you, what I think the rating is. I did not get it set up. Now I have to make the graphic for it. Thank you so much for spending Friday the 13th with me, especially this special one. Happy birthday to Jason. Yeah, you can almost see the Camp Crystal Lake poster back there. Signpost. And then join us next Friday, the 13th. Man, I really wanted to do something special for this year, but it's just not going to happen because this is Sunday before Friday. And I'm not very quick. I got other stuff to do. See you next time for part 5. A new beginning. You thought it was over. You fool. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll text you later. Text you later? No, I was going to say catch you later. Do I have a sign off for this thing? It's not the Frankenstein goodbye, is it? No. I don't remember. I'll have to watch my other videos. Have a great Friday. Have a great and safe Friday the 13th. And if you see this before you decide to go to Camp Crystal Lake to have a party, maybe just wait a week. Yeah, just wait a week. Next Friday, his killing sprees only last a week, and then he dies for a couple of years and comes back. So yeah, give it a week. Bye, everybody.